This is Red Moon Roleplaying. Masks of Nyarlathotep. Well, after we left our investigators, they had succeeded in pulling off the heist of the year. I'm not going to go so far as to say the decade or century, because the most successful heists are the ones where the perpetrators are not caught, and that is yet to be seen. Our investigators successfully had Zara Shafiq and her fellow cultists pulled away from Empire Spices by London's finest, the Metropolitan Police. And with the venue open, they decided they would raid it, taking from the locale all kinds of artifacts of what is likely an occult nature. They also discovered in the cellar beneath the store a place where it appears people have been stored, a shrine, something that looked absolutely foul. You may even describe it as a black pharaoh carved out of ebony. Using a wheelbarrow and a couple of sacks, you took everything that you could identify that seemed valuable and yet not immediately dangerous from the space. And in the case of Bertie, left his good friend to loot the rest of it. And so we reprise with our investigators now, currently smuggling themselves into Rupert Carruthers' apartment. It's unsafe for them to go back to their hotel dwellings. It's unsafe for Bertie to go back to his shop. You all know at this point that you are being watched. And you certainly know that very soon you are going to be hunted if any of these Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh make it out of prison to track you down. Well, I see you've brought all kinds of gifts over. How did you get that wheelbarrow up the stairs?
Very carefully.
What on earth? Shelby, what? Madeline? You're Bertie, aren't you? Yes, we met briefly. Come on, come in.
We've, yeah, it's right. We should come in, right? Sorry. I'll step inside. So everything went, I guess, well, but, things were pretty horrifying down there, honestly.
Oh, so quite frankly, it went too well. Far too well. Too smooth. And I kind of, at this point, just go and quickly look out any windows that might be in the area before looking back and saying, yeah, I don't think that actually went as well as it could have. It should have been a decisive blow, but I don't think it was. Might need to rethink things.
And I don't think we should rethink those things here. We need to get out of London.
I see. I assume that I should start making arrangements with my accountant, and, my lawyer will need to know where I am.
We should also reconnect with Felix, then 3 of us or 4 of us if you want to come along, Bertie.
Very good point here, Felix. He's been providing me with nightly updates. So just as you asked, I've been waiting by the phone quite religiously as you command. He gives a salute to Shelby. And he's been telling me how he's been working with Mr. Shipley, the artist that you sent him to look for, looking into the matters that concern all of you since New York. And the only time he hasn't provided me with an update was last night, but everything's been so hectic, I didn't pass that on to you. I am sorry.
No. I mean, it's good that he's been staying in touch. Did he give you a number we can ring him back at so we can let him know we've had
he said that the Shipley house doesn't have a telephone, but they have an address in Holbein Mews, which is where he went to meet with Shipley the first time. Apparently they're really digging into some pigments or something like that.
Interesting.
Okay. Rupert, you need to get packed up, and then I'm just going to wave my hands over our bounty, our goods, everything that we've stolen. And I don't think we have time to unpack or explore or read through any of this now. I think we need to pack it up and take it with us. Let's go collect Felix and then try to decide on the next destination. Somewhere preferably outside of London.
I have a meeting with Gavigan tomorrow around noon, I believe. I should probably keep that appointment because Gavigan's tied to a lot of this stuff. And I think we need to get the measure of him to figure out what's going on there before we...
Right, so just to clarify, you're saying this Gavigan person is also part of this Order of the Black Pharaoh, or is it tied to them or something?
I don't know if he's directly part of it. I think he's part of the Penny Foundation. I believe the Penny Foundation is the money behind a lot of these groups.
I kind of look a bit blank and go, right. Alright, whatever.
Oh, Bertie, we'll get you caught up so you're up to speed with everything.
Alright. All I'll say is that carrying all that, hope you got some porters or something, Mr. Carruthers.
Oh, I know plenty of young, strong men who can lift a box or two.
Right. Normally I'd be against carrying that sort of thing out of London. It'd be better to sell it in London, but...
Oh, no. He actually puts his hand on the idol, which has a blanket over it. You can't sell this.
Why not?
Well, these are powerful objects, Mr. Hill, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. And exactly. They'll fetch a fine buyer when we're done with them. What, you want to keep them on your pocket at all times?
I think it's better that I keep hold of them than we pass them on to somebody who doesn't know what they're doing with them. I become quite... in my confinement to this apartment, which honestly isn't how I anticipated returning to Soho. No offence, Shelby. I've been quite happy to man the phone. I've been left with time on my hands. The voyage since New York, I was reading, and since I got back here, I've been reading, and sometimes it feels like the words are dancing off the page. I have spent so long reading.
Rupert, sweetheart, come back to us.
Yes, of course. My point is, there is much that I have discovered, and when we have the time, I will explain to you. But I would suggest for the time being that, yes, I will get these relics carefully packaged, not for sale, Mr. Hill, but for study. And I suggest, yes, as soon as you can, send me word as to where I should have them shipped or transported, and I will dutifully do so. He provides you another salute, Shelby, but this one's considerably less enthusiastic.
I scratch my nose. I definitely am not entirely happy with that turn of events, but there's no point arguing it over now, I think to myself. So I smile, bow my hat, and say, whatever, we'll discuss that later. There are, I agree, more important things to get going on.
Yeah, I agree.
Very good, then. So, my question to all of you is everybody heading to Holbein Mews to catch up with Felix and let him know that the time to leave London is now, no matter what he's doing with his elbows deep in pigment?
Yeah, I believe given how fast things have escalated, I think at this point in time, going separate directions will just drag things out. So I think we need to stay together and collect him before we head out.
I agree.
I also agree. I'm going to at one point want to just quickly get a telegraph to my associates just to close things up, because unfortunately I do agree that at this point I think they're probably going to be alright, but there is still a possibility that if Mr. Zara gets out of jail, and if she does connect 2 and 2, she probably at this point will begin to suspect me personally, and my safety could be compromised.
Oh, very much so. The only member of your crew of investigators, the 3 of you, who is currently beyond notice, I suppose you could include Felix in this, is Shelby. Madeline and Bertie have both become exposed by one means or other, mostly tied to the Blue Pyramid Club. Shelby has, of course, been in Derbyshire for much of this. When he meets with Edward Gavigan, things might change, but he has more protection in the city than the two of you.
Indeed. So once I've got that final word out, it probably is best for me to, number one, for my own safety, and number two, for the hope of actually getting out of all this with some money. So for the moment, it makes sense to follow along with Miss Hopper and Co. After all, I have been employed, I suppose, in a fashion, and safety in numbers and all that. So I will also follow them, even though I find it odd that this friend of theirs can't come to us. But I'll keep that to myself.
I'm going to slip in front of Shelby. Okay, so we're going to go collect Felix. You're going to have your meeting with Edwin, what's his name?
Edwin.
Do you want all of us there for that, or is this something you want to tackle alone?
If he is as connected as I think he is, he probably knows who you both are.
I wince.
Does he? I actually find myself, now I've actually heard the name, do I just offhand know anything about a Penhew Foundation or an Edward Gavigan in my line of life?
In your line of work, the Penhew Foundation is known to you as the occasional trafficker of archaeological exports, which is a very generous way of describing things stolen from tombs. Though the Penhew Foundation is a little more reputable than that, at least on the surface. Anything that is taken out of a place like, say, Egypt or Kenya, or any of the other places that they have sent expeditions to, is only traded among eminent antiquarians, museums, and private collectors. Certainly not for sale on the common market in a antiques and bric-a-brac shop like yours.
Then I'll say, I'd be humbled if folks like that knew about me. But I do know about them, Penhew Foundation. Yes, too fancy to associate with persons such as myself. Their loss.
Yeah, however, I think if we stay too far apart from each other, that'll be more opportunity for one of us to get snatched, as it were.
Plus, no offence, Mr. Shelby, you don't seem like a man who can handle himself in a tight situation like that without assistance. No offence, you just don't strike me as the type. Even though you are quite tall.
You'd be surprised, but I'm not going to turn down help.
Yes, so let's all stick together on this, get things done quicker. That's my tuppence.
Shelby, he really doesn't mean to be rude. I think that's just his factory setting.
Was he rude?
I thought it was rude. Was that not rude?
I didn't think it was rude either. See? We're getting on already.
Okay. Where can we start shipping stuff now ahead of us? Derbyshire? Do we send it that direction? What's our next landing point?
Well, I do think after we leave town, we should at least swing by there and see how Jackson's doing. If he's fit to travel, he'll probably want to come with us to our ultimate destination, which we haven't decided yet. But if he needs to stay and rejuvenate, he may be better suited to sit on these things while we scout ahead, as it were.
Okay. The point of layover in Derbyshire, are you confident with whoever it is you know out there? Whoever's taking care of Jackson?
Let's say that I have information that they would find very uncomfortable if I revealed. But also I think the person I'm talking with genuinely feels remorse for kind of how things happened. So 75% sure.
After all, it's nearly a full month until the next full moon. You should be fine if you're utilizing the veins as storage for a while, anyway.
As long as we can finish our business before the next full moon, I think we'll be fine.
How wonderfully cryptic.
Okay.
There was a ghoul, it was a whole story. The whole thing.
There was a... Alright, yes, sure.
Let's redirect everything there, and then finish up with Gavigan, and then finalize anything else we need to do in London, and let's get out of here.
Sounds like a plan.
Right, I'll put out some calls, get some strapping young hands to get all of this sent up to pleasant Derbyshire, and I'll stay back for a day in case anybody needs me for anything, but then I will follow on. Make sure, of course, the good people in Plum Castle know to expect it. They'd probably be quite surprised if they received a load of crates, opened it up and found that awful thing staring up at them, he says. pointing at the Black Pharaoh.
Good. Actually, make sure you talk directly to Lawrence Vane. Anybody else maybe not quite understand what we're trying to accomplish here.
Yes, indeed. I will do that very thing.
And I will put my hands on Rupert's shoulder and say, I do want to say, you have been invaluable being here. I know it's not been exciting. I know it's been very frustrating to stay in one place like this for so long, but without you here, I genuinely don't know if we would have survived the past few days. It means a lot to me.
His face crumples a little at that, but he accepts your support, your words. Just doing what I can. Shelley, you know I'm not quite as effective out on the street knocking on doors.
We all have a role to play.
And so, our investigators head to a house on Holbein Mews, the terraced row of houses where Felix previously travelled to. The 2-story brick building in need of repair, the address of one Miles Shipley and mother. It is difficult for any of you to not occasionally check over your shoulder, to keep watch out of the corner of your eye as you approach. You have no idea whether anyone is fixed to your tail, and now that you are fully aware, at least a couple of you most certainly, that magic is most definitely real, there's no way of getting around it now after what 2 of you experienced in New York. And Bertie, you've always been a superstitious man. You don't necessarily need to have a human body standing near you, staring at you, to essentially be tracked. There's all kinds of ways of following someone who you have a strand of hair, of a fabric of clothing, a personal possession. Yeah, time is most certainly of the essence. And so you knock on the door, and you knock again. It starts to rain. The door opens. An incredibly scruffy, even decrepit-looking man matches the exterior of the house. Answers. He adjusts his spectacles. Sweeps his hair to the side. It doesn't help much as it springs back to where it was. The fumes exuding from his clothing and his skin hit you immediately. It reminds you of a gas attack, Bertie. He just has this pungent mix of mustard and ammonia. Can I help you? Can I help you? I wasn't expecting anybody. Was there an appointment? I'm so sorry. I've not been keeping track of things very well recently.
We're simply friends of Felix Bauer. We came
Mr. Bauer
to check on him and to yes.
Mr. Bauer.
Yes.
Yes. Of course. I can take you to him. He's just inside. 3 of you. Is it?
Yes. And Keeper, can I get a psychology roll because he's acting very suspicious?
You don't need a psychology roll unless you really want to make it.
No, I've got it checked off already.
In that case, he is on the verge of a breakdown. Of course, while these investigators aren't aware of it, Miles Shipley is always on the verge of a breakdown, as Felix discovered. I feel very uncomfortable when there's more than, and he does a little bit of mental arithmetic, 3 people in my house at one time.
Well, luckily we won't be here for very long, and I barge forwards. Try not to barge him out of the way, but just trying to get in.
I don't know. I protest.
It's Miles,
Mother?
Is that your name, Miles?
Yeah, yes.
I've seen your artwork, and what I'm going to do is try to at least ground him with me in this moment the best I can. If that's a distraction, if that's an anchor point, if that's just, hey, let me get you to hyper focus on this moment and not the next one, whatever I can do to try to keep his attention here. I saw one of your paintings very recently. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before. That's you, right? You're Miles, Mr. Shipley?
Yes, but I'm a painter. Are you looking to buy a painting?
Well, at the moment, we just want to check with our friend to make sure that he's okay.
Oh, yes, of course, sorry, I forgot. I was, And clearly it worked. You did ground him. You distracted him from what was panicking him. Mr. Bauer, he says. He must be... And he looks down at the floor, and then he looks up at the ceiling. He would be upstairs in the garret right now, with my paintings. Why don't you follow me? He's breathing heavily, rapidly.
Having been about to barge in, but stopping when Madeline kind of directed me not to, I'm quite close to her, and I just mutter to her, "Why can't he come downstairs?"
And I just bite into my bottom lip, and I just very quickly shake my head no. Either I don't know the answer, or I mirror that same concern because something feels egregiously wrong, and it's almost like I can't see past the moment that's in front of me where I want to recognize that something may be really, really wrong.
As I notice the tension, the body tension in both of my colleagues, I'm staying quiet. I'm taking a step back, but I am going to start fingering the pistol in my pocket in case I need it.
Shipley starts trudging upstairs. He clearly finds the stairs a struggle on his knees because he has to hold onto the handrail, but then again, maybe that is just the nerves. He struggles breathing, he struggles moving. This man's life appears to be one massive struggle. You following me? Are you coming up with me?
I'm going to turn and I'm going to look to Shelby. And Shelby can just see that heartbreak in my face. Something's wrong.
Mr. Shipley, you mentioned before you don't want to have many people in your house. No, I think that's fair. Perhaps you could just have Felix come downstairs and speak with us.
Yes, I can. I'll ask. He's very busy, you understand. I'll ask.
Sure he won't be busy to see his two dearest chums.
You know him well, then?
You could say that.
Right. Okay. Right. He trudges off.
As he does so, I just turn to Shelby and quickly say, "And just so I know, is your Felix friend normally odd like this? Making you come to him rather than coming to you? I thought you lot were all quite close."
If anything, Felix would be too obsequious and try to make it as easy as possible for us.
Right. So yes, this is fishy.
I'm gonna stay here by the door, make sure no one's trying to come in behind us.
I turn to look at Madeline. You want me at front or supporting from behind? I promise I'll do as you say.
Let's follow him up. Felix may be hurt.
I nod. I'll go to check my own pistol, and I will wait for Madeline to move forwards, making sure to back her from behind, and then looking at Shelby and nodding as well, like, "All right, you stay on the door. I'll be in the middle."
Nod back.
And then I'm going to jog to catch up with our host.
Sorry, wasn't expecting you. You have reached the attic door. It's, I just need to unlock it.
Oh my god, the door's locked from the outside?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have to hard stop right there. As soon as I see a lock on the outside of the door, I am going to stop my ascension, and I am going to turn, and I'm going to look back to Birdie to make sure he's seeing what I'm seeing.
Oh, you're not going to be able to see each other. If Bertie is halfway up this 3 stories, you've just taken a side staircase up to an attic. Right now, it's just you and Miles in the stairwell. If Bertie wants to catch up to be at the foot of this staircase, that's absolutely fine. It just means you'll have the ground floor and the first floor, or in American terms, first and second floor, between you and the front door.
Okay.
Yes, I think unless you actually give a signal, because I am trying to behave myself, I'll probably just be at the bottom of this stairway, but I am ready to step up it.
In that case, you can see Madeline's look of apprehension, to put it mildly. Dread might be a more accurate word.
I probably do just then get my gun ready and keep it in the hem of my coat. I'm quite irritated, if I'm perfectly honest. I'm wet, and I don't like this individual.
Madeline, as he rattles the key in the lock, can I ask you to make a luck roll?
That's a 55. That's very likely over my luck. It is. That's a failed luck roll.
He opens the door. You can see Felix stood there, working on one of the canvases. Felix turns. He doesn't smile when he sees you. He puts the brush back down on the palette. Frowns.
Madeline, what are you doing here?
My nervous system is flying so high right now, but I see him. He's here. He's okay. He was behind a locked door, but that's something that I can reconcile later. Hi. What are you doing? And I'm just going to step into the room and approach him.
You feel the door being pulled shut slightly. Miles is remaining at the top of the stairs. He's looking down at you, Bertie, and while he's looking down at you, he is pulling the door to.
I just politely take a few steps up and say, No need to close the door, friend. You'll let all the air out.
It's very important that my paintings are kept in a specific temperature. And
I'm sure it is. And I go up a few more steps.
Felix approaches you, Madeline.
I've been working with Mr. Shipley to create his art.
I'm going to take a step closer to him again to get a full range on Felix. Okay. You've been working with Mr. Shipley on his art. Okay. Felix, why did he lock you in this room?
Make a hard spot hidden roll.
That's a 58, I can tell you right now. That's not a hard. A hard success would be a 26 for me, and I hit a 58.
His eyes flick from side to side, and then he looks back to you.
The paintings are of a special nature that requires solitude. Mr. Shipley has trained me on how to treat them, and I have been here in isolation working on them. Would you like to see them?
Keeper, I have to look.
Yeah.
I have to.
Okay. Make a 1d6 roll, please.
Jesus be offense. It's a 5.
Your eyes catch sight of a painting depicting a great fire. A city aflame. A city that vaguely resembles London, in fact. People dressed in old-fashioned garb, screaming and fleeing as around them a great city burns. Make a sanity roll. It is incredibly vivid. If you were closer to it, you could almost feel the heat emerging from the paint.
Oof. Yeah, I can feel the hairs in my nostrils burning as I hit an 80 on this failed sanity check.
You only lose 1 for this sanity loss, but it is still enough to make you shudder.
Would you like to examine them more closely? I have spent a lot of time working on them.
I am consumed with the fires of this city that's ablaze, and there's something more insidious and visceral and unsettling about it, and I don't know whether it's the painting itself or the thought that Felix, our Felix, my Felix, would have drawn something like this. And I'm going to rip my eyes away from the painting, and I'm going to move up to Felix, and I'm going to push my forehead into his. I'm just going to say, Felix, darling, we need to go.
He steps back.
Do not touch me.
My palms get wet. I shudder.
Miles, how many of them are there?
Three of them, and there's one coming up the stairs right now. Felix twitches a little.
You should leave. You should leave right now.
Make a psychology roll, Madeline. I could allow you to do spot hidden if it is a better skill.
If I'm anticipating what you're putting down, psychology feels really intimate for this. So I'm going to stick with psychology, even though I think my spot hidden is higher. But babe, thank God the dice rolls finally love me. I hit a 9, which is my extreme success on psychology.
Superb. This isn't Felix. Yes, it's his voice. Yes, it's his face. But the way his posture is arranged, the way he speaks, the way he bares his teeth at the end of every sentence. And then you notice the way the skin around his neck seems to wrinkle unnaturally, as if there's a little too much meat stuffed into pockets of this skin suit, and a little too little in others, almost as if the sausage skin hasn't quite adapted to its filling. You can see along his right arm that his skin now is stretched thin. So thin you can see that his right is bright pink, as if you can see the flesh, the muscle, so raw within translucent skin, whereas the left is thick and dull and almost grey. This is not Felix.
You should leave, you and your friends. I am busy. I am creating art.
Having taken a few more steps up the stairs, I just call out, Miss Hopper? Problem?
Please don't come any closer. Please don't come any closer. Please don't come any closer, please. Miles starts crumpling at the top of the stairs. He's not going to be a physical impediment to you, but he is begging you not to come any closer, Bertie.
I'll stop where he is, but I still wait for a response.
I can hear that voice in my background. It's echoing in my grief and my sorrow and my despair at this moment, but just almost instinctively with that warning, I'm going to start backing away from this thing that obviously isn't Felix. I'm going to slam the thumb meat into my mouth and bite down onto it just to stifle this sob. And I'm going to continue backing away until I can hopefully connect with this door, if I can hopefully connect with Bertie. And I'm just muttering again and again, it's not Felix. It's not Felix. It's not Felix.
Come back if you want to look at my work. Close and lock the door, Shipley.
Yes. As you pour through it, Miles slams it and locks it and then crumples and just starts heaving sobs.
I look utterly confused, but I do look to Madeline, seeing she's clearly in distress, and just say, so, what?
I don't know. It's not Felix. It's not Felix. It's not him.
All right, love. All right, why don't we just, we'll be going then. And I'll try and just escort her down the stairs, trying to get out.
Yes, go. Leave me alone. Leave us both alone.
I'm going to look at Shipley and just through my own tears and despair demand, where is he? Is he alive?
No, he's gone. Not getting him back, not getting him back, not getting my mother back, not getting any of them back. The only thing left is the skin.
Right. Maybe we should just go downstairs and regroup. Let's do that, eh, Madeline? Let's just do that.
I think there's just a moment where the best I can do is collapse on the top of the stairs directly across from Shipley. Because it looks like we're both grieving the same loss.
Seeing that, I will make an assumption, unless you of course resist, to try and manhandle you gently up. It's like, no, we don't have time for that. Come on.
Are you resisting, Madeline?
No, I don't think I have it in me to resist.
that if you don't resist, I will stop at just hauling you up a little and guiding you by the arm, trying to be gentle, though it's not my best forsuit, really, and just trying to get you out. I can put two and two together and sense that the situation isn't good. I'd rather we were outside.
And Madeline, even in your grief, you can see Shipley is beyond hope and help. There may be a part of you that wants to rescue him from this. You don't know how complicit he is in it. But for as long as that thing is in his attic, he's never going to be free of it.
No, so I'll go downstairs with Birdie.
I'll start getting you to the exit, and I see Shelby, and I just say, apparently your associate is the person upstairs is not your associate, alright? I think it might be best if we go, if we don't want things to get ugly here.
Is he okay?
I escort Madeline to Shelby, and when we're at the exit, I let her go and just sort of push her towards Shelby.
I look at Madeline and I get all the answer I need from that question. And I can feel myself growing cold.
Something's wearing him, Shelby. Something's wearing him like a suit. Then he's gone, and Shipley says that he's not coming back.
Did Shipley kill him?
I don't know.
I need to make a sanity roll.
Yeah, same for you as well, please, Madeline. About the only person immune to this is Bertie, and that's a close-run thing. It's difficult to see people who you've grown quite close to in recent days so damn traumatized and not know what to do about it.
3,585. I feel strong, burning desire to just take my pistol out of my pocket and march upstairs and solve this problem, because for the love of God, I just want to have one problem where I can solve and keep my friends safe. But Bertie has a point. We've already attracted enough attention. So I shove it down, as far down as I can shove it. And I go, okay, let's go.
I for a moment do look to you, Shelby. Tilt my head. You sure? If this is a problem we need to sort out, you and I could, perhaps. I don't know. It also might be something best left for another time.
I look back at the house, and I look to you and I say, when we come back, I want him to suffer.
I raise an eyebrow. I'll refrain from making a snarky comment, because even though I am terrible at psychology, I can tell that one individual is very upset, and there is something different about this Mr. Shattuck as well. So, instead, I will just nod and say, right, let's get a move on to our other priorities and make a note of this for another time.
Yeah, we have another friend who needs us right now, and we need to... Yeah, we need to go.
And I look to Madeline and say, for what it's worth, I'm sorry. We can't do more now.
And I blink as just a fresh sheet of tears fall down my cheek. And I nod because I know he's right. I know he's right. That just doesn't make it better.
And I nod, and for the moment, decide not to ask questions about what exactly it means for someone to be wearing someone's skin. Could mean many things, but they all sound pretty bad to me. So, for now, maybe let's leave this house of what I assume is some sort of depraved, murderous individuals. Save it for now.
Well, all that trauma as our investigators leave Holbein Mews. This wasn't the reunion you were hoping for. Not even expecting to a limited degree. Whatever that thing was up there, maybe it is something you can deal with at another point. But for now, indeed, Madeline, certainly you can be confident that you won't be meeting up with Felix again. In the time that passes, from your trip to Holbein Mews, hiding out in Rupert's flat while various things are being packaged up for shipment to Derbyshire, and Rupert gives you both comfort. He has a cry as well. He wasn't expecting you back so soon. The idea that Felix isn't joining you again passes swiftly. You know that for all of you, this is going to be the last night in London for quite some time. The following day, you have your meeting with Edward Gavigan at the Penhew Foundation, though Shelby, you'll be leading this meeting, you and Professor Julius Smith, who are supposed to be meeting at the foot of the Penhew Foundation steps in the morning. It will be difficult to rein in the feelings of loss and temper. You have no idea whether the Penhew Foundation is at all connected to what has occurred at Shipley's house and the works that were taking place there. Certainly Jackson Elias's pointers and Mickey Mahoney's investigation seem to imply a link, but you never found anything definitive. Maybe Gavigan would be able to help you with that if he's feeling helpful. So, unless there is other business come the morning, shall we go straight to the Penhew Foundation, or is your intention to go to the Nile Club? Or the Nile Bar first, Madeline?
May I offer a suggestion? Madeline, I think it might be good for you to go check on your friends. I think it would help all of us to do something positive right now. I need to go through all of my notes and Jax's notes and anything Rupert picked up to kind of pull all this Gavigan information together, and that's going to take me a few hours. And I don't know these people you want to check on.
There's a ghost of a nod that's just in consent with that idea, but you have the impression that it didn't matter what you told her, she was just going to nod in consent with whatever the suggestion was. There's a compliance that's almost just navigating with her grief.
Then Bertie, are you sticking around to help with the research, or are you going to go to the Nile Bar with Madeline? Or do you wish to check in with your underground contacts before departing the city? You've already sent your telegram off to Bernsey and Archibald, among others, whoever might be on the receiving end of such a thing. Do you need to meet with them in person before you leave?
It might be good just to conclude things, yes, quickly, mind, and just check on my shop and lock it up.
You're heading back to your shop?
Yes, the middle of the day, and if it's the middle of the week as well, busy thoroughfare like my shop, well, I mean, then they can strike us. They can strike us safely in a house as well. And again, at this point, I feel that I might still be not safe, but at the stage of the classic warning. Probably, they'll come up to me, tell me that I can't run. That seems to be how these folk operate. I'm going to be quick. And then I'll come back to the research. I don't think the ladies at the Nile have any interest in seeing me, and I don't really think I can assist Mr. Shelby in his investigative research, although I would like to see those artifacts, but it sounds like they've already been packed away.
Bertie, you head back to your antique store to lock up and make sure that all the shutters are down. Maybe hoping to meet up with Bernsey or Archibald there. Can you make a luck roll, please?
That's a 4 under 36.
It's the middle of the day, as you say, this should be the safest time. That doesn't mean that it is safe. Certainly, it wasn't safe for Bernsey, because the police are already there outside your shop. It looks like Bernsey had some kind of accident, Bertie, because he is laid there, out flat, in front of your shop. A pool of blood. Well, it's still thick, but likely congealed now. Spread out from the wound. Are you pausing? Are you stopping to speak with the police, who currently are standing around the body? One of them more or less seems to be poking him. You assume he is the pathologist. Or are you just striding purposefully on?
I have to stride purposely on, don't I? If I go and do something now, the police will want to ask questions. Hell, maybe even the police aren't necessarily on my side. When have they ever been on my side? No, how did they catch Burnsy. They were still watching, even when they were being fucking arrested. Well, that's not good.
Make a sanity roll, please, Craig. You have lost a good and dear friend.
92. I'll take the fail.
Alright, roll 1d6 plus 1, that's how much sanity you lose. You've known Burnsy for the longest time. You grew up with the guy. And while he wasn't ever much of a conversationalist, he was always reliable. He was trustworthy for someone like you. And more likely than not, he came here to meet with you, as arranged, to update you on any operations that would be ongoing in London. Could have only been as recently as 10 minutes ago. And perhaps just wrong place, wrong time. Maybe one of these Brotherhood fuckers came up to him and said, "Do you know where the owner is?" And Burnsy did what Burnsy does. Got a bit confrontational.
Well, that's a 7 sanity loss, which is quite a lot. Which does mean, at this stage, I am tempted to, as I turn away, just idly clutch at my precious little idol of Thoth. And try and use that to focus and perhaps avoid the sanity loss in this case for the one use.
You can do that just once, if this is the time you want to do it.
So I think I will. I just grab it. I maybe aren't even thinking about the idol. I'm just thinking, no, this doesn't make me go mad or stress me out. This makes me very angry. These bastard sons of... And I start walking away. No, I can't look up the shop, and for a moment, I even think about who else needed to know, because I was thinking of just letting my brother know that I hadn't suddenly died. But maybe he's awfully impulsive. I think I'll have to leave him. I even think for a moment of my dear sister, but we haven't spoken for about 10 years, so I highly doubt they'd go after her. She doesn't even live in London. So no.
I'm sure this cult doesn't hold a grudge.
Well, not against people they can't find, but in this case. But yeah, no, maybe it's better if I take my leave of London for a moment. But this pharaoh lot are going to pay. They certainly are. Fuck! And with that, I just swiftly walk back to where Shelby is.
Madeline, you head to the Nile bar, unaware of what's afflicted Burnsy and what poor Bertie has just witnessed. It is, of course, the morning, but there's an older man who is cleaning up the pavement outside. He has wet a broom and is sweeping the pavement of any of the debris of the night before. Based on his complexion, you would assume that he is probably North African, maybe Egyptian, given the fact that Anna and Yalisha are of Egyptian descent. It would make sense. You know that it was Anna and Yalisha's father who owns the place. Maybe this man knows him?
Good morning, I say as I approach.
Good morning, not open yet.
I know. Are you the owner, by any chance?
He looks up at the bar as if to remind himself, and then back at you. Yes, I am the owner.
Are your daughters okay?
My daughters, Who are you?
My shoulders just slump just a bit, and I look up to him. I'm the one that put him in danger.
He looks confused for a moment, and then concerned. Then he drops his broom and gives you a very quick hug.
Not what I was expecting, but everything that I needed in this moment.
You do not need to be worried about them. They are outside of the city right now, somewhere safe. You hug me back, we are old friends. Maybe that will be less suspicious than two people confronting each other on the pavement. When we part, smile, laugh. Make it look as if we have shared a joke.
My face is buried in his chest, and I nod enthusiastically in consent. And then can I roll a sleight of hand to slip an envelope inside of his jacket? Or his waistband, or his pants, something?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a 44 under my 50 sleight of hand. So this is what I had in my head, Keeper, and you let me know how this works. I assumed that these women were not going to be here, and I was hoping and praying that there was going to be some person that would connect this parcel to them. It was going to be money out of Jackson Elias's coffers, of course. So it's going to be some substantial amount of money, and it's going to be contact information for the inspector, and then just a note that says, "I'm sorry, MH."
He doesn't notice because you succeed, but to be sure, if and when they receive this, they'll be grateful for it. He pulls away, laughs, waggles a finger as if you just said something very, very funny, and then through his sort of clenched teeth, his forced smile, he says, "Haha, they have been threatened. I have been threatened, but I have friends in the Egyptian governorship. They will not hurt me, but they will go for them if they find where they are, you understand."
And a radiant smile spreads across my face. This is the one good news that I've received in the last 24 hours. At least they're alive. And I bury my mouth in my hands to catch another sob of relief that's going to turn into a adoring laugh. It was good to see you again.
And you will have to stop by when we're open. He reaches down to pick his broom up again.
And I look at the door, I look at him, my nose wrinkles deeply, and then I'm going to turn on my heels, do a sweep of both sides of the street, and walk away.
Yeah, there was no genuine invitation there. If it was possible to invite you somewhere while simultaneously saying, "Don't come here, for God's sake, don't come here," that's exactly what his expression and words somehow conveyed. But yeah, Anna and Yalisha are at least still alive. Maybe not within reach, but that doesn't mean they're out of the story. And that then takes us to Shelby, who has been studying with Rupert ahead of the visit to Edward Gavigan. We will conclude the prep for said meeting before the end of this episode. So, with the few books I've got left here and what I've been researching, Shelley, this Gavigan figure, not exactly a society dilettante, you understand. Brought himself up, something of new money, I suppose you might consider him. I suppose that's less important now than the more occult leanings. There's nothing on paper, as you'd imagine, to point to Gavigan being some kind of high priest, witch, wizard, or druid.
Mm-hmm.
He's a business owner, a philanthropist, inherited the place once Sir Aubrey Penhew, the Baronet of Pevensey, went off and disappeared with the Carlisle expedition. And it seems, on the face of it, that Gavigan is continuing his work. And again, on the face of it, I would say that it looks like he's doing it to the letter. Barely a thing has changed, but that's where my research points to things being slightly different. I think since Penhew himself got declared dead, Gavigan has sped things up. More expeditions, more financing, more shipments, more rumours surrounding the Foundation, more gossip linking them to certain underground elements. Almost as if the subtlety has just flown out the window. As if there's a deadline and Gavigan is committed to meeting it. I'll tell you this, though, and this is the strangest thing that I've found, and I've been looking at a lot of strange things, but as pertains to Gavigan and the Penhew Foundation, a lot of the workers for Penhew, employees, contractors, people working out of country, have been vanishing. Whether this is tied to those Egyptian murders or not, I don't know. They're not all Egyptian, certainly, but there's people who were on the payroll or were contactable who just are not anymore. No longer in the directory. I made a few calls, tried to just pretend to be selling this or that, and just nothing. No one. It's like the Penhew Foundation has been gutted. Makes me wonder if those Egyptian murders Madeline was looking into might be some kind of civil war. I suppose my point of all that, saying that to you, Shelley, not really being up for meeting with Mr. Gavigan myself, you understand.
Understandable.
It's given the great action you've taken against Zara Shafiq, if we are to assume that she's on the other side of this contretemps, maybe, and it is a slim maybe, he might owe you a favour? Of course, there's every possibility he may see you as an interloper and want you dead, but it's maybe worth feeling out if you're intending on pressing hard on what you know.
Well, I think I am going to be pressing hard, so that's good to know. So in Jackson's research, he found some connections between the Penhew Foundation and Henson Manufacturing, when it looks like Empire Spice was also tied to Henson Manufacturing.
Yes, it seems there's, based on everything you salvaged from Empire Spices and what was in the journal Jackson was keeping, and it seems absolutely contrary to what the Penhew Foundation is involved in at a, again, ostensible level. They seem to be sponsoring or funding some kind of industrial works in Derby. Now, for the life of me, no matter what I look through, it seems utterly opaque what they're working on. There's references to machines, machine parts, and experts being brought in, I say from all over the world, but largely China. And, well, the vagueness speaks to me of subterfuge. They're trying to conceal what they're doing. But the Penhew Foundation is pouring a lot of money into it, or should I say Edward Gavigan is pouring a lot of money into it from the Penhew Foundation's purse. Now that he has control, the money is funneling out of the Foundation and into this industrial works that the Vanes, well, control the land on which it's built.
Now, wait a minute. So he is simultaneously speeding up and putting money into expeditions while also diversifying his money into this industrial...
Yes, not that I'm an expert on finance by any means, as you can probably tell from how I left certain...
No, but Bertie's comment about selling the artifacts makes me wonder if that may be part of what's going on here. Is Gavigan trying to use these expeditions as a way to get more money to funnel into whatever this project is?
My gosh, you might be right. It could be less about funding expeditions for the sake of actual learning and more just looting and robbing. Perhaps, if we're to look at it, and this is pure guesswork, Shelley, if we are to look at this cult as a sort of binary organism, that's a term I picked up in one of the books I've been reading. Shafiq, the Empire Spices side of things, is the... And to excuse the poetic turn of phrase, I'm not trying to be Byron or Shelby. Shelley. If Shafiq's operation was the spirit, then Gavigan's is the body, concerned with the material. So you can probably see the division there. If Shafiq was more Penhew's woman, maybe she doesn't like the way Gavigan has turned the Foundation.
Right, and Penhew promised Vane a way to cure his daughter, but never produced it, and maybe part of the reason is he can't, because he doesn't handle that side of the operation.
Well, was it Penhew or was it Gavigan that made that promise?
Or, sorry, Gavigan, yes, but Gavigan made the offer. Gavigan made the promise. You're right. I was just thinking Penhew Foundation, but you're right. No, so if Gavigan made that promise, But if he's handling the material side, as you say, the grubby day-to-day work, then if he's suddenly at odds with his spiritual side of the operation, then he's suddenly unable to provide, which will explain maybe the deteriorating relationship with the Vanes.
Well... Oh, it looks like Bertie's back, so I suppose that means it's time for you to head on, or are you waiting for Madeline as well?
I checked my pocket watch.
Madeline should be here any minute unless she's being caught up.
I'll give her a few more minutes just to make sure she's safe, but if she doesn't come shortly, I have to catch the tube.
In that case, the investigators come together at Rupert's, and this is where we shall close our session.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play Masks of Nyarlathotep for Chaosium's Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. Joining us as our keeper is none other than our dear friend Matthew Dawkins, and we were also joined by Bridgett Jeffries and Eddy Webb. The music was made by Ager Sonus and Halgrath, and we've also used Cryochamber's Lovecraftian compilation albums. All of this with the permission of Cryochamber. Check out their website at cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for some moody dark ambient for your gaming table. We would like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon, Martin Heuschober, Simon Cooper, Julia, Bob Lange, Cameron, Graham Barey, Doug Thomson, Lily, Maciej, Black Templar, Dennis Sadecki, and Leonhardt for their generous support. We would of course also like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, this show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Cult of the Lost, Call of Cthulhu, Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, and Warhammer 40k Imperium Maledictum there. And you can also get early and raw access to all of our recordings, and hear your name read on the show as a champion of the Red Moon, as well as even play some Cult with us. Most importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out there. Thank you again for listening, and remember, I am the last. I will tell the Audient Void.